Hi everyone, Hannah here. Welcome back to my channel, Handmade by Hannah. I have finished the first thing of 2023. Now, to be fair, I was working on it through up until New Year's Eve, and I was hoping to get it done as the final project of 2022, but that didn't happen. We had a lot going on. So anyway, this is from the pattern company Cashmerette, and I have made some changes. First of all, I didn't put on the epaulets or the chest shield or they have like a rain flap too. Want to make it fairly basic, fairly simple, especially since this wool that I used is actually quite thick. So I made it out of a charcoal gray Milton wool, which is a nice thick, almost felted fine merino wool. And it is lined with orange silk. Maybe a little flash here. I think this is probably the best part about this coat is just this bright, amazingly, sunny color that, when you open the coat, you get that light. You can see it reflecting off of my face when you close it up and when you don't. So it's got a belt, it's got belt loops. It goes down to just above my knee, which is a good length for me. I didn't have to lengthen anything, but I did move the belt loops were like up here, and my waist, of course, as you see, is belted. It's down here. So I had to move those down. I also moved the darts in the back. So there are fisheye darts along the back here in both the main and the lining that I moved down 2 inches. And actually, I will show you how I did that. Okay. So as I am working on the Chilton Trench coat, I realized that the back has 2 fisheye darts, one on either side, and I actually need to move them down about 2 inches because my waist is actually 2 inches below this waistline right here. So I actually need to, I didn't make any adjustments here. I just made it pretty much straight down, mainly because I just don't have a waist. It does go in a little bit, but not enough to really matter, especially on a coat. So basically I'm moving the belt loops down 2 inches and the darts down 2 inches. So I need to figure out where those are going to go and remark them. So the top of these, and I'm doing the size 16, is lined up with the seam allowance of the bottom of the arm side there. So I want to move that top down 2 inches, and I want to keep them in the same line. So we're just going to move them down 2 inches. 2 inches. So let's line that up there. So I have it lined up on an inch line so that I can make sure that the top of that is still in line with that dart. So that is going to be the top of my dart now. The length of the dart top is 6 inches. So we're going to, and the width is 1 inch. So we're going to mark 6 inches down, basically still in a straight line from that, from point to point, because we still want to keep it in line with where it is on the back. Okay, so 6 inches. So this is going to be the center part, the biggest part. We're going to measure 1 inch across with that in the center. Okay, so that is the widest point of my dart. And then we're just going to measure 2 inches down from here. Actually, let's do this so that it is still in line. I want to make sure it's all lined up so that when I put it on the fabric, it's not askew. Okay, so that's 12.5, so we want it to be 14.5. Okay, so that is the bottom of my, the bottom of the fisheye dart. So now what I need to do is now make the legs of it. And ideally I should be doing this on the flat surface, not with my fabric underneath, but it still works out. And the fabric I'm using is pretty thick and forgiving anyway, so the darts are going to be, they're not going to be super visible anyway. So that is how I have adjusted the dart. If I wanted to bring it in a little bit more, I would probably make it a little bit wider at that apex point. But other than that, it's ready to go and ready for me to mark on both sides of my fabric. Okay, so now that you've seen how I move the darts, one of the things that I actually don't like on this, which I will change next time I make this, is the placement of the pockets. They are down here. Now, to be fair, I did move them down, but they were on this princess seam line, and after putting this on and, you know, layering it over and belting it, I was like, I can't do this. My pockets are all the way down here. That's not going to work. I thought about changing it and everything, but I'm like, I'm not going to worry too much about it. It's nice and warm. I don't really use pockets on my coats anyway, mainly because it's usually when I'm driving and I don't really need to put a whole lot in my pockets anyway. But next time I make this, I will put pockets in, and I will put them on the side seams, because that is a much more logical place for me to put my hands anyway, just in normal activity. If I get out of the car to go to the store, you know, keys in the pocket, they're going to go like this. They're not going to go like this. So definitely going to change that up. There's something else I was going to change on this, and I forgot what it was. I don't think there was anything else. I did learn a lot. So I'm going to take this off and show you the inside. So I learned how to fully bag a lining, which next time I make this, I will do a video of the whole process, mainly because I was learning on this one myself. But also there's no real good videos on how to do that. They don't really explain what you're supposed to do at certain steps. And I actually had like a couple of nights of dreams where I was thinking about, well, how am I going to accomplish this? You know, and I had to go back and reread the instructions several times to figure out exactly how to do something. However, I figured it out, and very excited I did. Made a lot more sense once I got that all done. So anyway, so this is the inside. I even put one of my labels in there, handmade by Hannah, and the cuffs and everything are attached inside, and I tacked them down at the seams so that you don't have lining coming out of your sleeve, you know, when you're just standing there. The other thing that I learned how to do is the back vent. So this guy right in here. And if I do say myself, I feel like it turned out really, really nice. And I attached the lining by hand in that part, because that was also where you turned everything inside out. You turned everything right side out after that. But I really like the way that it lays in the back. And so I will definitely be transferring this onto doing skirts, so that you have that really nice back vent. If you're just standing straight, it's completely together. You don't have, you know, like the pieces coming apart like you do if you just have a regular vent. So anyway, I'm going to show you a little bit about what I'm going to be doing in the next couple of days. I've been busy this morning as I finished this up last night on New Year's Day, actually. So I've got a few things going on. Most of them are a couple of them are purse related, actually. And so, and then a couple other shirts that I'm going to be cutting out. Tomorrow I'm going to start printing out some patterns that I'm going to be working on that I talked about in my first video. So I hope you really enjoy this content. You know, if you'd like the video, please comment, you know, if you would. And if you want to subscribe to see more, subscribe to my channel, and you'll see it more often in your feed. Okay, so I'm back in my sewing room here and showing you what I'm going to be working on next. So this is a nice cotton, and this is actually a linen, and these are both going to be Vernon button-up shirts. Another Cashmerette pattern. I really like that. I really like their patterns, especially for the top. They fit me really, really well. And then over here at my sewing table, you can see the stack of fabrics waiting. I am refashioning straps for this purse. I made this about a year ago, maybe 2 years, year and a half, I think, when I was in my bag making phase. and I really, really like it. But the straps on it were not great. They were kind of a horrible, yucky, brownish gray color, and they were really soft and they weren't well done. So, which was on me. You know, I was the one who made them. So I am redoing these. These are going to be sewn together, you know, real tight rolled leather handle that actually matches the bag. So it's a real dark blue. And I'll be punching holes through the ends here and then sewing them onto here. And actually another bag is doing this. So this is from So Sweetness. I really like Sara's patterns. She also has a YouTube channel as well as Facebook and everything. And I learned a lot from her tutorials, as well as she has a book. This Windy City Bags. So I'm making this bag in this really pretty dark red and gold upholstery fabric that I found a scrap of, and I think, and I've already cut it out and everything, so this is what I have left. And I think I picked it up at the last year's yard sale for American Sewing Guild for the Reno chapter. Unfortunately, they have disbanded at the end of last year, actually in the middle of last year, because they just weren't giving the people, you know, new members, younger members, and it was just a lot of work for not a lot of return. So that's unfortunate that they disbanded there. And then the inside is going to be this really pretty embroidered silk. It's a silk dupioni, and again, scraps that I picked up at the same yard sale. And I was going through my stuff, and I happened to see them together, and I'm like, oh right, I wanted to make that. And then I have some other, like an acetate lining in this color that kind of complements that same gold, you know, red and gold color. That's going to be pockets and some tabs and everything that go into that. So anyway, I hope you're enjoying your day, and we'll be back more with more updates with what I'm working on this year, different things, and probably a sewing room tour here coming up soon, and also talking about St. Distaff's Day coming up on January 7th, because as a spinner, yarn spinner, that actually is pretty close to my heart. So anyway, we'll take care, and we will talk to you later.